We got here because of compromises. We got here because of selfish interests. We got here because you had an agreement that will consume you, and you never knew when you were doing all this. We got here because you don't have the political will to do the needful. Yes, you got here because you don't know what is governance. You don't. Seriously, you don't.
Is it okay?
Level of insecurity. The government is not ready to do anything meaningful. They are not serious. Because the problem of this country is Nigerian government. They are the key actors. So they are not making any progress. We have a saying in my dialect that when a man who see your property, see helping you to find it, you will never get it. Nigerian government is aware of what is going on. They know how to tackle the insecurity. They are not doing anything. And that's the reason why the late Buhari, when I heard the news of his departure the other day, I said, I find it difficult to forgive that man. When he woke up one day to inform all of us that the Boko Haram, once they embrace repentance, that they should be now be inculcated into our military and into our security arrangement. I think that is the beginning of our problem. Your mind back, the money that Jonathan spent, 5 years of Jonathan, he spent less than 500 million. Record of it that he spent less than $1 billion to fight insurgency for 5 years. When Buhari came in 8 years, he spent over 200 billion to fight insurgency. The other 2 years now, 2.5 years of Tinubu, he have used over 400 billion fighting insurgency. What does that show to you? That it is not a business for those in government. It is not a very profitable business for them. And they are not it's a racket here, and they are not doing that. The more the insecurity remains, the more they are making money. And that is my taking. And I start to be corrected. Nigerian government is not making any headway in terms of fighting. They are not even willing to listen to our argument. They are not willing to listen to superior argument that we enable them to have what it takes to fight insecurity. We have been saying that Nigerian government, under the leadership of Tinubu by now, should convoke a national security summit where we have opportunity to tell ourselves the truth. So that we can tell the president now that the military, the police, they can no longer do their job as the way to be. Empower Nigeria to carry gun. Let us have license so that people like us can, if we can secure, if we can buy a gun, AK-47, let us go and buy it. AK-49, let us go and buy it. If it is somebody gun, we can buy. Let's buy it. So that by the time you know, and we go in my house and we gun in my farm, you will not just come and say because you belong to the other one. You don't have to hide. It is a man with God that is usually the superior in any battle.
You see, Nigeria problems is a problem on its own, and it's too difficult to analyze, to explain. Because of these issues now that we find ourselves, issue of insecurity, it has at least generate a lot of reactions, a lot of suggestions. People are making different suggestions since Tinubu has failed security agencies in terms of security and everything. They have failed woefully. A lot of people are making different suggestions, like legalizing, let Tinubu legalize the use of guns. Go and protect yourself by yourself. Go and say, after all, DSS and all that have said it before, that this is not the time to joke again, and you're not expecting the security to be everywhere to save you, to protect everyone. So you need to arm yourself to defend yourself. And now my question is, do you really think this is the solutions to the problem? Do you think even if they legalize the use of weapons and to defend yourself, do you think it's the solutions to the problem we are facing today? I've explained this before, but video like this will make a lot of us want to say something again. Do you understand? So you cannot compare Nigeria to America. So whenever anybody wants to give an instance of what they are doing in terms of using of guns to protect yourself, you cannot compare Nigeria to America. That's number one. Laws is working in America. Law is not working in Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is politics. They are sacrificing human lives with politics. These people are desperate for power. Americans are not desperate for power. They don't care. But if federal government legalize the use of gun, anybody who has money to go and buy whatever magazine, newspaper you want to buy to protect yourself, for me, that is a recipe for disasters on its own. It's not going to solve the problem. We'll end up creating more problems in this country. So I want to get your reaction from this. What do you think? Do you think legalizing the use of gun for everyone who has money to buy to protect his or herself is the solution to Nigeria problem? Because we find ourselves in this mess that Tinubu and APC put us into. So what do you think is the solution? Leave your comment. Very important. Very important. Leave your comment down below. Don't forget to share, comment, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be your guy. Run out for me now. Subscribe. You don't need money. You don't need to pay money to subscribe. Just hit the notification, the subscribe button and the notification button so that you get updates. And it's free. You just subscribe so you get update for free. Dr. Yodas, oh yeah, no, please run that for me and subscribe.
President. Now, but the government have said a lot. And we were just having, a conversation. Just over the weekend, former President Olusegun Obasanjo addressed the insecurity in the country and said, look, you don't negotiate with terrorists. You stamp them out. You go hard on them. Well, the presidency has responded saying, look, insecurity took root during your time. But we know that when Obasanjo was there was the issue of OPC. And we saw how it was handled. It was basically shoot at sight. And a few other issues came up and he went hard on those that tried to undermine government. How have we fallen to the point where Nigeria now basically calls terrorists to say, look, those you kidnapped, release them. Regardless of the fact that you've killed a few people, don't worry. We will not attack you when you release them. Because that's basically what played out the last time. How did we get here? That's the question. How did we get here where we are currently? To say that one who took years to prep for a position has been overwhelmed. Is that something else within the governance space of Nigeria that makes everybody there appear like they are clueless? When Jonathan was there, Nigerians and then the politicians also said, oh, he was clueless. He didn't know how to handle the situation. Buhari came and Nigerians thought, oh yes, I mean, he was close to the people and he'll be able to, reduce insurgency. But there was no reduction. And now somebody else. Is that something within that space that is making it difficult for anybody to do the needful, to act?
Now, let us be specific here. The Obasanjo regime did a lot in terms of curbing insecurity. He did a lot. Remember that it was what he did in Odi and Zakibiam that cost him the UN Secretary Generalship when Wole Soyinka was using it to campaign against him. Remember? That means the man was very decisive on insecurity. Some rascals killed 7 police officers and butchered him and was making a show of the man on the internet and all that. Obasanjo said, look, get me these people who killed these policemen. Get me these people. He gave them time. They couldn't. That was why he now moved in police and army. Is that not how you're supposed to treat a matter? Yes. But here now, just opposing with APC, they have been pampering these people from Buhari to Tinubu, pampering them. Pampering them. It is obvious, it is clear. And then you have some government supporters who are preaching and talking on behalf of the bandits as if we owe them a favor. The man that said that we should pay bandits, we should listen to what they are saying, or else there will be no peace in Nigeria.
Right, so when you say they are pampering them, is it that there are more to this that we know already or that we need to know? Because when you say they are pampering them, we see some people come up to say that whatever thing they are fighting for is more like a just cause and all that. So help us actually work around this. Why should we pamper bandits or terrorists at this point?
The man that said that they are fighting, he would have told us the cause. Please, they should have told us, like Gumi have been talking all over the place. Not even now. Under Buhari, this man was very strong in protecting and defending the bandits and terrorists. That we owe them a favor, that they are fighting for. All those things he said. Somebody should have called him and said, come. What does Nigeria say to all these people?
Now, if you think he's not fighting a good cause, Barrister, why is it that he's still there? Because he's still moving around.
I don't told you here. Yes, I don't told you here that the reason why this thing has first started is because the government doesn't have the willingness to do the needful. Because if they have, somebody like Gumi should not be walking around.
When you say the willingness, is it that they have something against government that they are holding on that is making the government not ready to come out to act?
It looks like, from the way things are, because I don't see any government. Like I told you before, after God, it is government. When it comes to quasi power, nobody can challenge God and nobody can challenge the government. So when you know you have this power, why are you not using it?
But a certain Nigerian made a revelation, on a television, national television, saying something about how some people are trying to make some part of Nigeria, Niger Republic, Chad, the headquarters of the World Terror Organization. And that is the reason we're having the issue of insecurity bedevil some part of Africa. Do you think that maybe the foreign entities or the people sponsoring the issue of terrorism and banditry at this point is what is making Nigerian government not really to be able to act swiftly the way they should?
I don't think so. I don't think that any neighboring states in the Sahel have the capacity to sponsor terrorism in Nigeria if the Nigerian state does not allow it. I mean, Nigerian state, as big as Nigeria is, you tell Niger, if any of these people cross into Nigeria, we're going to invade you. Right. You tell Chad. Something I know that Donald Trump will do. So, for them to be using this as an excuse, they are the one that allowed it.
All right, we'll talk a bit about Donald Trump and before we go to the virtual guest. But let me ask you this question. But first of all, let's correct one thing. You said Obasanjo lost UN Secretary Generalship because of what happened.
Yeah, that was the campaign.
But at that point, he hadn't even become head of state. That was in 1991. the UN thing that Boutros Boutros-Ghali won against him was in 1991. He hadn't become Nigeria's head
what
of
I'm
state.
saying. This thing happened when he was in office. Then when he
No, he wasn't in office then. Barrister, now the question is, it was under Obasanjo, you know, that we had Boko Haram. It was under his watch too that Yusuf, the head of Boko Haram, was killed. And he treated it with levity, so to say. A lot of people are asking, and I want to ask you, does it look like Obasanjo didn't have accurate intelligence, you know, to have told him ahead that, look, if you don't stop this problem this time, it might fester. And that's essentially what happened, that we have this insecurity. So is the government wrong in putting the beginning of insecurity at his doorstep? And how much responsibility should he take for allowing that happen at that time?
Please, it was under Obasanjo that Odi and Zaki Biam happened. Two of us.
Okay. And that not beautiful, yes.
Good. And I'm telling you that when he was about to finish, he wanted to go for UN Secretary Generalship. That was what happened now. At that point, Wole Soyinka now campaigned against him because of Zaki Biam and Odi. And you are telling me he was not in office. I don't get it. I know my history now. So Obasanjo did well. That thing he did, sent a message. Yeah, he sent a message to them. And that was why this thing was not like this under his regime. It wasn't. Obasanjo wouldn't have tolerated it seriously. He wouldn't. I'm not joking. Can you compare Obasanjo with what Buhari did in office? Because in fact, it was Buhari that now laid the foundation for what we are seeing today. Because of all he did in office. It got so bad that some elder statesmen in Nigeria had to sue Buhari to court for being the arrowhead of insecurity. Is that not a fact? So he laid the foundation of what is going on today. By his body language, by his action, utterances, and the way he was trying to pamper these people, giving them all the privileges that they don't deserve. He was the one.
Okay.
So and we are talking that when Tinubu comes into office, he will correct all these things. But look at where we are now.
Okay, when he comes into office, he'll correct all these things.
Yes.
That we see a surge, you know, in attacks. In Kogi Church, you know, pastor and his wife abducted, more like what happened to Venerable Archie. In Kano, over the weekend, in 2 other states, we saw fresh attacks. Does it look like these people are planning to draw in Donald Trump, or is it that they are trying to make the country ungovernable, you know, to oust Bola Ahmed Tinubu, exactly more like what happened in 2015? Are we seeing a replay of the 2015 incident?
Do you know one thing about this terrorists and bandits? They have a way of embarrassing their sponsors. So. Seriously. Why their sponsors and their supporters are trying to give them a soft landing that this is not like that, it's not about Christians. So they are doing the opposite of what their sponsors are defending. Was it not here that Donald Trump said something about Christian genocide? And now the very thing that government is trying to do is what these guys are doing. Can't you see it? Since the last 3 weeks. Please, who have been bearing the brunt of this thing? Christian churches, Christians, Reverend Fathers, their family.
Okay, some would say there's been an increase in that to further annoy America, maybe make America come in.
But what is the government doing?
What is the government doing? That's the question.
That is it. Exactly. That's what is the government doing? Because when we said it, they doubted us. They called us names, say we are trying to hit up the politics. There's nothing like that. But the guys they are trying to defend are not doing the real thing that we are talking about.
Well, it's not just about the government. Some can, and also some religious leaders also said there was nothing like.
Please don't talk about those people that have been compromised. Just like Father Kuka, he's a member of one of their boards. So what are you saying? It means when somebody like that talk, you now believe him.
Okay.
There are those who have sold out. There's no doubt about it. They have sold out. I ask again. How many of the Muslim clerics and mosques and others have been taken away like they have been taking Christians in the last 3 weeks? Do you know how many of them are in captivity now? Like that of Niger. They only returned 38 out of them. Is that not true? And we are on record that 260 are still out there. 260 human beings. And all of them Christians. How do you justify that? How?
More abductions. Barrister, thank you very much for your thoughts. Now, let's go to Chief Dr. Emmanuel Urayanama, who joins us from Port Harcourt. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. Now, from one abduction to a negotiation and release, and then another abduction, that's what we are seeing. What are your thoughts on this increase in insecurity in the country with kidnappings going on? The other day was a husband and wife kidnapped, pregnant wife, and we saw how the man was basically begging for assistance. The monies he offered, I think he offered them about 7 million, and they rejected that. He wanted more, and he didn't have more. So he was begging that they were going to, rape his wife if he doesn't get the money together. So basically, insecurity has increased. It has spiked to an alarming figure. What are your thoughts on this?
First, let me say I'm not surprised. We did warn when certain persons in the country, instead of attacking insecurity and criminality, began to religize it, began to ethnicize it, began to give it a religious face, and so on and so forth. But before I do all of that, let me answer one question. The statement that Obasanjo will have done anything better is as big lie. Obasanjo was in power when the Niger Delta militancy got to its peak. In fact, his supposed anointed person that was not taken away from him, Ogli, was a champion at the time in River State. And he had all the security reports. Those that created the Niger Delta militancy were all in his party at the time. He did nothing. Nothing that changed in governance in this country. Politicians are the creators of all these problems we're finding in the country. And let me tell you one thing. If you take a good look at all that is happening now, you will find one simple truth. They know themselves. They've been in the same parties. They've only moved from one party to the other, just a change of name. So they know that their strategies. It won't be too far away to say that it is actually the opposition that is creating what is happening. At the level it is happening. And of course, we all know in basic strategy, when parties know their strategy, except one ups his own, they will play around the same game. So playing around the same game. It is a pity that is human lives we are using to play in the country. It's a pity that we do no longer have respect for human life. It is a pity that we no longer have what looks like hope in our country. It's just a pity. But the truth be told, 90% of what is happening in the country today is created by politicians from all the divides. And they know their strategies. It's a pity those in government have not been able to up their strategy to be able to hold down their partners in the same crime. And the greater Nigerians.
When you see those in government have not been able to, end the issue of insecurity, what are the solutions you're preferring at this point? What do you think they should do? Because, some people are of the opinion that they don't even know how to tackle it. When we see others being vocal to say, we know who these people are. We know who their parents are. We know where they reside. To the point that people, when they're being kidnapped, to go out to kidnap others.
They know how to tackle this. They are all involved. It's a question of your extent of involvement and declaring that going forward, this is how it should be. I can tell you, the moment they begin to attack those known sponsors, they will also be mentioned. And that's just what they're afraid of.
All right.
The moment they begin to name and punish those known sponsors, they will also be mentioned.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Comrade, I beg your pardon, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Irayanama. We also have our guest, Comrade Roy, joining the conversation, but we'll come to Comrade Roy in a bit. Barrister, let me stay with you, let me come back to you. Now, we hear from information available that the United States are beginning to survey some parts of Nigeria. They have their base now in Ghana, from where they fly this unmanned aerial drone to survey some parts of Nigeria, and that's been going on. That information came from one Brent, who is a security expert, and also reported by certain media outfits. Now, is that information, is it necessary at this time? That look, today they've gone out, they've surveyed, and they've come back. This is the third time they're going out surveying the Borno area where Nigeria shares border with Chad, and they have come. Do we need that information put out there at this time?
That will tell you the type of security you have. In the Nigeria...
The so-called Brent is not a Nigerian.
Yes, but whoever allowed him to put it out, how did it happen? If they want to do covert operation, you don't do it this way. Nobody will know who is doing what until the final D-Day. That was how Osama bin Laden happened. Imagine if somebody had told the whole world, okay, we have seen where we suspect that Osama bin Laden is hiding in Pakistan. Very soon, we are going to apprehend him. Please, will he be waiting for you? Will you see him there? He will simply relocate. Because these terrorists, they have their own network. Remember when they wanted to use a mask to infiltrate their camp? By the time the foreign soldiers were about to take off, they saw the same people wearing the same mask. The question is, who told them that they are coming after them with masks? So, the compromises are so many. You don't even know who to hold on to. I said it here that this thing that government is saying, let us collaborate with America, it will not work. They will sabotage it.
So how then are we going to end the issue of this?
Yes, because you brought Boko Haram members in your rehabilitation scheme. And they are not in government, they are not in the military, they are not in the police. So they know what is going on, whatever you are planning. You saw the mistake they made initially, Mr. Moses. Can you see? Because when they were doing this, some of us cried out and said, no, it will not help our security. They said, it is to do this. The military were defending it. Look at it now. It is the same people you brought in. You brought in from their camp that are now terrorizing and sabotaging you. So how can you make progress? Imagine if this collaboration with America fails. Because I know it's going to fail. We want to hear it now.
Okay, Barrister, talking about how to solve the problem, it's out in the news this morning that look, the federal government is reviewing the list of 411 people that were sent to them, as sponsors of insecurity.
Good.
Do you think that they will travel far with that?
Hold on. You want me to believe what you just said, Nabi? You want me to?
No, it's not me that said it. It's
I know it's in the news.
No, I'm asking you. How far do you think that?
If they want to do it, they will not hear about it. They will just see action. Mr. Okoro, forget that thing. They are not ready. They will not do it.
I said they are reviewing the list.
I said nothing to review. They just don't want to do it. Forget that thing. Let them tackle what is present, what we are seeing now.
They want to tackle it from the root by
which root?
Apprehending those people.
I said it's not possible. They can't do that. They are just alerting the people. If you know that your name is there and you hear that they want to do, will you keep quiet? Is that you locate or you do something about it now? Is that not true?
All right.
It's only a tree that you want to cut and the tree will be there waiting for you.
All right, Barrister.
It's only a tree.
Thank you very much. I'll give you one minute for your concluding thoughts. Because
my concluding thought is that if the federal government is serious, start from the known to the unknown. People are occupying Benue and Plateau villages. Go and dislodge them. Tell them to go back. Taraba, they are doing the same thing. Start from there. At least those people, you can see them. You know where they are. Then by the time you dislodge them and say, their brothers elsewhere will say, look, it's time to leave. Oh.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Darlington Agomo. Now let's go to Comrade Roy Oriabo. Now, Comrade, good to have you join the conversation. Basically, from what we have in the news, how well do you, if you want to assess this administration in its fight against insecurity, how would you rate this administration, this government?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me once again. There is nothing to rate them about. As of today now, there is nothing the Nigerian government can do to fight insecurity, because those who are there, those who are within the security arrangement are also part and parcel of the terrorism, of the banditry, of the Boko Haram terrorism. Therefore, where are we taking it to? Nigerian leadership need to demonstrate sincerity. They need to demonstrate that this country be not all of us. The way they are doing that, they are doing as if it's even a kind of a market arrangement for them. A racketeer where they are making profit. Take the Nigerian government must listen to us. That is my beginning. That is my concern about it. They must listen to us.
Comrade Roy, do you think Nigeria is ripe enough to have individuals carry guns? Don't you think that'll be a recipe for disaster? Don't you think we can? Because I mean, we have terrible record of road rage. That alone, don't you think there'll be greater problem if Nigerians are allowed to bear guns?
There is not going to be a greater problem. Let us not be a prophet of doom. For how much are we? As we are talking now, people are being killed. As we are talking after this program, you are still going to hear results of numbers of Nigeria that are being killed. As we are talking now, why are we scared? In America at the time, there was kidnapping, there was armed robbery attacks. Until they woke up one day and said, no, let us let us make an arrangement for people to have access to guns.
But you know that America at this point is finding a way to reduce the usage of guns. They are finding a way also to restrict it too, because they have seen that having firearms with some persons is causing them harm and danger too. So they are working on making sure they find a way to restrict it. And you're calling for Nigerians to have firearms.
The society is evolving. America's handling of guns is also evolving. There were some laws that were not there before. They are now looking at it and say, what can we do about it? And that is what we are telling the Nigerian government. Now you cannot say, okay, so this is the kind of gun you can hold. Between that, this is what you can do. You know, this is what we need. America is only doing that because they believe as the society is evolving, the law that establish the individual to carry arms and ammunition, they are reviewing it so that it will not be in harmony with present reality. And that is what we are calling on the Nigerian government. For how much are we continue to empower? We allow only a particular tribe to continue to be licensed to carry guns and ammunition. And you know, in this country, if somebody from my tribe, if police or Nigerian soldiers see that person with a gun or with a cutlass or a dagger, they will arrest the person. But there are some tribes in this country, you see them with a gun, with a knife, with a dagger, they will tell them it's their culture. They will tell you that is their way of life. How come in the same country we are having two types of law? How do we do that? How do we sustain that? Therefore, we are not saying that what is good for Kabiru is good for Roy. That is what we are saying. And that is we have to put this narrative. That if we can do that what is good for Esther can also be good for Fina, then Nigeria will be at a very peaceful world. That is where we are now.
All right.
Because you can't continue to empower a particular race, a particular tribe.
Let's get a reaction.
To continue to hold
Great. Thank you. Let's get a reaction of Chief Dr. Emmanuel Irayanama on the same issue of bearing arms. If you think that will be a solution. Now, let me also take you back a little bit. There was a video that trended, even though it's been tagged fake, a video that trended about some people that were said to have invaded Port Harcourt, invaded River State, but they were gunned down. Now that video was tagged, it was revealed to be fake. But what do you think? Do you think Nigerians? Do you think that will be a deterrent to those that intend to cause insecurity, or do you think it might just spiral out of control? Dr. Irayanama.
Yeah, the truth is this: we can't confirm, we can't verify that video. Whether it's a made or it's something very old, we can't really verify it. But I can tell you that to a large extent, that infiltrating Port Harcourt and doing the kind of harm they do up there will be slightly difficult. You know who we are to some extent, particularly within our terrain. I doubt if they can be able to run us out. They're able to do what they do in the north to a large extent because of the peculiarity of those terrain as it were. You can't come to the Township, for instance, and say you carry 20 by.
Okay, there was a network glitch and we lost some of the things she was saying at that point.
Yeah, I said I cannot verify.
Okay. That will make headway, like my colleague asked earlier. Comrade Roy. Now let's wrap that with your concluding thoughts as well.
Of course, the only solution that we have now is for we to consider individuals. That is the only solution. And you also agree with me that the kind of security arrangement we run in this part of the world is eye service security. You know, I call it eye service because one, you see that if you monitor our news in recent time, you will be seeing that the military will be telling you that Boko Haram will be able to despise it. We are going to social place next tomorrow. We are going there next week. They keep on telling us every day what we can do. And I went back to my study to go and check. I don't know any part of the world where they run their security arrangement like that. Where you have to inform the terrorists, you have to inform the people of what you are doing on a daily basis. In regards to you, people were coming to kidnap. We have to we pass them back. We do. It's still very elementary to my understanding, and I believe that Nigerian government under the leadership of Tinubu should immediately caution those who are managing our security architecture that because it's no longer the method that we have been using over the years.
All right.
The mechanism is no longer very useful. We should also have to debate a mix. We should change tactics by now.
All right, then change tactics, you say. Well, thank you very much, Comrade Roy Oriabo, and big thanks, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Irayanama. I do hope we'll be able to rectify.
Thank you.
Okay, if the network is clearer now, let's have your concluding thoughts, please.
Nigerians must begin to have some elements of positivism, if you ask me. Let's still give a benefit of the doubt because the Nigerians that are going to suffer in the long run. I won't support bearing arms because of several negativities around it. But the truth is this: we must rejig our political system. We must rejig our security system. We must rejig ourselves as people. The truth be told, these persons are not coming from mass. They do not just drop. Certain things are fueling them. The government must be sincere in her purpose. We hear every day soldiers crying at the ground and look, the things the other parties have are higher than them. We hear, so recently we saw a video where the general was telling us that all the tires of the vehicles they used are gone, they changed about 27 of them, and they were actually, but as the body was still active. What were the support mechanisms? What was the plan on that kind of venture? Are we just exposing our people to everyday death? We must sit back and do proper planning. I have the hope that if government is willing, with the people's support, we will be able to defeat security. We must work together. The press must help us.
That's a very hopeful comment.
On how to report the activities too. We must do it together to get back our country. This country is ours.
Now you listen to this video, you see everybody's reaction. Now, what do you think on you listening to me now? Another question: do you think Tinubu will truly release the names of the sponsors of this Boko Haram terrorist group? Do you think Tinubu will release it? I don't think so. He's not going to do it because if he wants to do it, it should have been a secret that you just publish the name. The name is out. You don't need to first of all announce it. This is not exam. You want to write exam that you first of all give the student date on which they are going to write exam to get ready. So Daniel Bwala is just spreading that just for you to say that they are doing something. That's how I see it. And they are not going to release the list. We are here. If they want to do that, you don't need to start looking. The list that they released from UAE, Dubai, gave to Buhari before, is still there. They know it. It's still there. You should have worked on that first. The name is still there. You should have worked on that. That's another one. So we are watching. And again, they talking about the problem. If Tinubu is ready, is serious, they know what to do. This is not something that you don't know what to do. You are looking for solution. And the major thing is why we are here. Tinubu is not somebody who listens to advice or who listens to solutions. He believes that because they call him master of strategy is Buga. He thinks everything he does is the right thing. So be a master of strategy, as they call him in quote. He thinks he's doing the right thing. So he is above everything other thing. He doesn't need to take instructions, solutions from either oppositions, not opposition, anybody. He doesn't need to do that. He believes in whatever comes to his mind is the right thing to do. You cannot run a country like that. You cannot work. It cannot work. In the UK, I've been making example references. Opposition will criticize government. They will bring solutions. They will tell you this is what they are going to do. This is how to do it. The current party will buy into the ideas, pick something from what they are saying. They quickly implement some of those things, if not 100%, so that opposition will not use that against them, even the coming election. They will not use it. But Tinubu, be who he is, arrogant, so radical, so he believes that he is the master of strategy, he's above every other thing. Nobody should suggest for him, nobody should tell him what to do. And whatever he tells you to do is the final. That is the problem we are facing today. And you say you don't see what you are doing, and you are not doing the needful. If Tinubu has been listening, if he had been doing the needful, we will not have been here talking about insecurity. And if he is ready to fight this insecurity, he knows what to do. He can do it. Nigerian military can fight these people. They can fight them. They are not bigger than the Nigerian military. It's because it becomes an industry for them, multi-billion dollars industry for them. Do you understand? So how do you expect Tinubu to release name that includes Matawale, former governor of this was the state again, yeah, which is now the Minister of Defense or Minister of, yeah. So how do you now expect Tinubu to release that? That person has been accused many times. He has been accused. The Boko Haram, the terrorists themselves have accused that man. People who understands, who knows the roles that man play, has been accused. They have accused him many times. And he is a Minister of Defense to Tinubu. How do you explain that? How do you explain Tinubu, or how do you expect Tinubu to list Shettima now as being the sponsors and the financier of these different groups? How do you expect him? These people has been accused many times. And nobody has been sued or charged to court because of what people have said about them. To go and prove yourself, we are taking you to court. This is a defamation of character. Nobody has done that. It means you don't fight them. It's not as if you don't see videos that people have said whatever they said about you. You don't charge anybody to court, because if you do, these people have evidence. If you do, you are going to it's a problem for you entirely, because it will open door for people to expose you the more. Do you understand? It's just like Peter Obi, he cannot take it. When what's his name? Deji Adeyanju calls him a liar, that he was offering him a bribe, money. Peter Obi has not done that. He's not in his nature. He has not done that. That is just an allegation. If he allows that to start, it means that he done it. He wanted to bribe him, but Deji truly refused. Do you think Deji will truly refuse a bribe from Peter Obi? No, because of the reputations. Peter Obi cannot take it. He charge you to court. Come and prove yourself with the informations or the evidence that you have. I charge you to court. Come and prove me wrong where I offers you this money. That is to say, this man is not guilty of this allegation, right? But he just wants his name clear from these lies. If Shettima is not guilty, he would have sued Falana to court for what Falana said about him. If Shettima is not guilty, he would have sued this Hanaja, to this woman from the north, to court. Come and prove yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Matawale is not guilty, even the current governor now of the state, he would have sued that person to court. Many individuals like that who have mentioned this person's name consistently is the sponsors, they are part of the problem. They would have sued them to court. But they cannot do that because it will open room for more expose. It will expose them a lot. So they decided to keep quiet as if they do not hear. That is the problem. If you say you want to fight, again, I said this before, America should not by any way collaborate with the Nigerian military to fight these people. It's not going to work. It will fail. This is not because they are compromised. Do you understand? They cannot. If America wants to come help us intervene, they should carry on their own. Just do everything. Now they said the drones, they are working, monitoring everywhere to know, blah, blah, blah. That's true. I don't know. If that one is not, is a secret information. It shouldn't be exposed. Do you understand? That shouldn't be exposed yet. Do you understand? Now, if America work with Nigeria police, this operation will fail. And if it fails, it will give opportunity to these people to terrorize. Who are you going to call again? America, they fail. They cannot do us anything. The case closed. Then the country will become what we don't know what to call it. But if America decided to go in this operation on their own, work individual, don't collaborate with Nigeria, let Nigeria do their own, America do their own, don't share any intelligent information to them, to Nigeria, because they are going to expose it. Do you understand? At the end, if this operation fails, Nigeria is doomed. In fact, now it's already doomed. But if this operation failed again, forget about Nigeria. Just forget about it. Anyways, if you say you are working, you need to show the sign of working for somebody to help you. In Benue State, like Barrister Darlington said, these people, not only Barrister Darlington, we see even the other one, former Minister of Sports, Dalo Solomon Dalon, he said about 64 local government in different states in the north has been taken over by these bandits. Now, there are nobody in those communities except these bandits. So if the bandits are there, that means they live there. They live there. So what does it take? You first of all need to send these people, declare war in those places where they are. All of them are not just in the bush now. Because these bandits you are seeing, they have children, they have wives. They have children, they have wives. That's where they live. The children and their wives live. Why the guys, they live inside the bush? Those people are the ones living in the villages where they display the original owner, the owner of this the community, right? So they live there, declare war, pursue them away, smoke them out of that community. Then you know you are serious. Then when their wife and children doesn't have where to stay again, they go and let them, including the children, let them go and meet them in the bush. Let them know you are serious. You don't do that. You say you are fighting people in the bush, you are fighting shadow. Start from here, do something. That's a problem. Do something. Start from somewhere. Let people see that you are serious. And again, I said this before, you cannot fight Boko Haram in the bush without somebody inside the house who is giving the one inside the bush information, who is sending him, giving him morale, go there. No. But if you can disarm the sponsors, if you can get them behind the bar, that will automatically send signal to those people in the bush. You see that those people in the bush, you see going about with AK-47 different, you see that they do not even have power. When the channel of communications to them has been seized, because then they said they have, yes, the channel of communication supplies to whatever weapon, everything has been seized, you discover that they will be left stranded in the bush. Then some of them will on their own surrender. Do you understand? They will surrender. But you are just fighting them. If you fight them, because of you, they waste how many weapons, how many this thing, because of you, soldiers are fighting them, they exchange bullets, whatever. Immediately you leave. Then another supplier is going to supply them with all those weapons. And you say you are fighting and you know the people. Come on now, it's not going to work. No. And again, the issue of legalizing guns so that you and I can carry newspaper, magazine to protect ourselves is not a solution to the problem. It's not a solution. It's a recipe for disasters. It's going to cause more problem. Do you understand? So people, Nigerians that I know will take advantage of it. Even husband and wife having argument at home. One of them, out of annoyance, can even use a whole magazine to gun down the other one. If a wife or a husband can beat a wife to what you don't know, to death. If a wife can beat husband to death because of one reason, if a husband or a wife can stab his or her husband, what do you think? Now they now have gun. So he will do the same thing. They say anger reasons why he raised up his hand to stab somebody because of one reason or the other. That's the reason he will use the gun. He will use the same thing. People will abuse it. The real target will not be affected by you protecting yourself. Do you understand? At the end of the day, you say, I don't know. No, now it's not going to work. The best thing is protect. The president should protect this country, should save every one of us. That is it. What do you think? Please share this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be your guy. Run out for me now.